Hey everybody, Drew here from Pella Cars. Beyond excited to bring you guys this absolutely gorgeous 2006 Toyota Highlander Hybrid Limited. This is a very special vehicle. These are just as bulletproof as the second generation Prius with the same technology, but in an ultra luxury package with seating for 7 adults. So just an absolutely wonderful, wonderful vehicle. This one came up from the south. It's extremely clean inside, outside, and underneath. It does have some cosmetic flaws, so make sure to watch the entire video. I'll point out as many of those as humanly possible. It did only have one owner who never got in an accident with it and took obsessively good care of it, and I'll show you quite a bit about that as we go through. So we'll start with those cosmetic flaws up front. You know, the typical angle, you know, like all those standard pictures, they don't show things like this. You just don't see, like, there's a scuff in the bumper here and there's stone chips on the hood. And there's like a little gouge in the front bumper right there. Moving along, so this is an indication. I mean, this car is almost 20 years old. It's 19 years old essentially, or it will be in a couple months. And they opted for Michelin tires. These are the most expensive tires. These are the best tires that you can put on this vehicle. They could have found tires for a third of the price, and they opted for these. As you can see with your own eyes, the brakes are in excellent shape. Moving along, there's a very light scratch. It actually might... Yeah, that looks like it'll buff out along the side. There is some faded paint. You can see on the roof. Again, this is from, I say southern. It's not from Florida or anything. It's down by the Philadelphia area, which does get over 100 inches less snow than Rochester, New York, and a substantial amount more sun, which would explain why it's not all rusty and why it has faded paint. Moving along the back, looking for more of those cosmetic flaws. There's like a really light ding right here. Not much to speak of. There's tons of goodies on this that didn't come on the regular Highlander. It has these beautiful LED taillights. There's a fair amount of scratches in the back bumper, which is like from cargo, and there's this dent in the back bumper right there. Underneath, as you see, is just... That's what makes this car incredible. These things are extremely, extremely reliable. They have, again, that second generation Toyota Prius technology running them, and the engine that's inside there is called the 3MZ, and that is just an absolutely bulletproof, incredible V6 engine. It was replaced, starting in late 2004, it was replaced in a lot of Toyotas with the 2GR, which is their 3.5 liter V6. It's a lot more powerful than this one, but this one's just bulletproof reliable. It's not uncommon to see 600,000 or 700,000 miles on those motors. They're just incredible. But the worst of the cosmetics is this. By the way, if this is a deal breaker, reach out. We might be able to source a used back bumper for it, but it is, you know, at its age and its miles, which is 141,721, by the way. You know, this is, we figure it's acceptable and it's priced accordingly. But again, if it's a deal breaker, reach out and we might be able to work through it if we could find one. So tires, just like up front, the backs, they probably have about 95% of their tread. Up front probably have about 85. And speaking of reliability, so these cars, just the plain gas 4-cylinder, the V6 model with all-wheel drive, they of course had a drive shaft and a rear end, and that's all more stuff that could go wrong. But on the hybrids, the all-wheel drive is actually electric, so there is no drive shaft. And as you see, again, just insanely rust-free. It's incredible. It would look... one Rochester winter and it would look rustier than that underneath, and it will next year, I guess, right? Unless, of course, we do ship all over the country, unless you want to buy it and send it somewhere that doesn't get snow. Little crease right here, little dent, decent dent right here. Very, very shallow dent, but if I give you some angles, you could see underneath that piece of molding, there's a dent. So inside is where this car is. There's a little ding right there as well. Pardon the wind. More paint fade on flat surfaces, you could see there. But inside is where this thing is incredible. I mean, if you could see, I'm going to try to zoom out for you, just the condition that the leather's in and the fact that it's not all stained and gross. The armrests are worn and the steering wheel's got a little bit of wear on it, like right here, but just the condition that inside this is in. There's no odors, nothing like that. And this is the same for all 3 rows. There's stains on the third row seat, which I cannot for the life of me figure out There's a little mark right there and right there on this seat. But, I mean, look at the carpets. Just absolutely incredible. Again, this was definitely not a smoker's car, and I'm inclined to think it wasn't even really eaten in. There is some, I don't know if it's like gum or something in the ashtray. But other than that, just incredible inside. And this is a very, very, very comfortable vehicle. If I'm beating that to death, I apologize, but just very, very comfortable for even, I wouldn't say you'd want to take a road trip as an adult in the third row, but more than enough for, you know, kids. And see those stains on the third row? Not exactly sure what happened back there, but just look at the carpet, and just an absolutely incredible car. And as you see, by the way, with that seat, you know, there's a decent amount of leg room if everybody compromises a little bit. But that third row also does fold flat. All these seats fold flat, and it has an incredible amount of cargo space as well. But and there's a little tiny tear in the leather there between the perforation. I think there's one on the front passenger seat as well. Yes, there is. And it's important to know that Toyotas of this era, the sides are not genuine leather, and you could see that one's split. It's got a power seat on both sides. It's just forward and back, though, not up and down over here, but just absolutely luxurious compared to a Prius, and with that same bulletproof technology. So I'll show you inside the back. It did come with floor mats. Here's again that third row. Plenty. It's actually a really good amount of cargo space, even with the third row up. You know, we hard to make it too personal, but as our kids get older, we travel lighter and lighter, and we can make this work with 4 kids. It's so for occasional use for like a family of, you know, 4 or 5 people. I mean, this thing is extremely roomy. It might even be, you know, with the third row down, it might have more cargo space than, you know, behind the third row of a minivan if you don't need that much space. And obviously the gas mileage is much better too. It did come with floor mats for every single position. So the 2 in the front, the 1 strip for the center, and then the strip for the third row, and then a cargo mat as well. But unfortunately, they have what's called tannin stains. So it's coffee or something, and as we clean them, they look perfect. And then when they dry, these brown stains bleed back through. That's really common from coffee. And unfortunately, we don't throw away floor mats if at all possible. Because somebody might have use for them, but we kept them outside the car, and you're welcome to them if you want them, but they are quite stained. So it's a hybrid, so no noise when you start it. It'll kick its engine on as it feels like it needs to, but it can be driven electric only. The leather's heated, and let's see here, it does not have a backup camera. Has a great stereo, no backup camera. This thing drives. It's important to keep in mind that the V6 that's in this, it's the same V6 that's in the regular V6 model, plus all the horsepower from the 2 electric motors. This thing is an absolute rocket ship. I'm not gonna abuse it or anything like that, but we'll get up to highway speed. It's very fast. Like, for its era, it's like Porsche SUV fast, or you know, like V8 SUV fast. Just very, very quick. And as you see, we're already going highway speeds. I'm zoomed out. I'm going to take my hand off the wheel and get on the brakes. As you see, no shakes, no shimmies, no drama, nothing like that. Of course, it has cruise control, power windows, power locks. The keyless entry fobs are missing. We're trying to source some of those. No promises, but we should be able to get one and have it programmed. Steering wheel audio controls. Just an absolutely delightful vehicle. You hear the regenerative braking going. Again, it's a hybrid. You can see it's even regenning from the back axle. Just really, really, really cool car. These were not nearly popular enough in the United States because the technology was relatively new and the price tag was not shy at all. So they didn't sell too great here, unfortunately. But now, almost 20 years later, this technology is in almost every Toyota, to the point where some models like the Sienna and the Camry aren't even offered without hybrid technology anymore. So Toyota got that right. But anyways, I'm Drew. I hope this video is helpful. We do ship cars all over the world. If you want to buy this car from afar and have it shipped, just reach out. We can discuss the process, or you can schedule a test drive. We'd love to meet you in person and have you take it for a ride in the beautiful area of our dealership here outside of Brockport. We're at 585-771-0111. one. And hey, if this video was just entertaining, if you like the retro review content, or if it was helpful in your car shopping elsewhere, feel free to give it a thumbs up. That actually helps us quite a bit. It directs traffic to our YouTube channel. And also, if you like this type of content, you want to subscribe, you're more than welcome. All you'll ever see from this channel is these walk around, basically tours of the vehicles we have for sale, and maybe the occasional review or like public service announcement about related cars. So you could go ahead and subscribe if you'd like. And hey, listen, thank you so much for your time. Take care. Hope to meet you soon. Goodbye.